What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears. Plus, you found us on YouTube, so subscribe, like, share, smack that bell. Make sure you don't miss any content. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Shy Bears Plus, where we have all the crispiest, dankest memes. You wouldn't even believe it. If you want some of my commentary, some of the hot takes, follow me at Shy Bears Plus on Twitter. Jeff is here with me yet again to try to sabotage my intro. Well done, like you always do. And he's also here to bring the crispiest, hottest takes. That's why he's on the show. Jeff, say hello to all of the people.
Yes, if you want hot takes directly from Bob, DM me and I will give you the phone number.
Absolutely no doxing. That is at @plus_shy. Make sure you follow him on Twitter as well. What we will be covering here today is our Week 15 preview. Packers at Bears. Packers coming in 5-7-1 because they tied. And who ties, really? Packers, losers, and trash.
Yeah, right.
You know, versus our Chicago Bears, who are 9-4, first place in the NFC North. So crispy, you can't even you don't even know what to do with yourself. This game, the Bears can clinch the NFC North with a win. At Bears Corner 85 says that we only need to tie to win. So shout out to you at Bears Corner. I didn't do the math, but putting you on blast if you're wrong. Everybody, at him.
It's on you now.
He's such a good dude. He's always commenting on our stuff and sharing our stuff. I really do appreciate him. We ordinarily start the show with stats of the week. Are you prepared for that?
I am. Let's keep it going, the status quo. Let's start off with a little bit of Bears-Packers history, the all-time record. The Bears are down just by 3 games all-time, including the playoffs. They only faced each other twice in the playoffs. One time was in our lifetime. I remember where I was when that happened. 94-97 favored the Packers. There's only a 30-point difference in the entire career or the span of these two charter franchises.
Series?
Yeah, how about
series,
it?
Yeah.
Yep. Since 2010, the Packers are 15-3. They have outscored the Bears 461-300. That's this decade. Time is 15-4 against the Bears. That one of those losses is the collarbone game with Shea McClellan. I remember where I was at for that game, Southern Illinois, my brother's basement. And then I don't know what that says. Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He has a career passing rating for 107 against the Bears. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And we all know that he just surpassed the no interception streak, 368 passes without an interception. Was that completions without an interception? His last interception was week 4. Okay? Why are the Bears going to win? This week, they're stifling defense. Let's shoot out some stats real quick on the Bears defense. Third, let's do this. First, overall in NFL in interceptions, passes deflected, and total takeaways. They're second in the NFL in forced fumbles. They're third in the NFL in points and yards per game. They're fourth in the NFL in sacks. One cool stat from last week, they only gave up 2 drives to the Rams that went over 19 yards. Think about that for a second. Yes, think about that.
Thought about it.
That's stats of the week.
Great crispy stats as usual. What a dominating performance. I really hope that we can bring that forward to Week 15 versus the Packers that nobody likes. I mean, why would you like them? Anyway, continue on. What are we going to do about the Packers? What should we be watching for? Next segment, what to watch for. Aaron Rodgers last week, he finally looked like he was done nursing that pretend knee injury that he was nursing for, I don't know, probably 13 weeks or so. I mean, that was a lot of fake limping. But anyway, he looked like a young Mitch Trubisky out there last week, getting up and scooting, and watch for that because he's going to be hard to sack and hard to move because he's moving around really good now that he's not faking anymore.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know, I've heard a lot of national narrative this week about Ben Roethlisberger, and they're really questioning his character. And, you know, did he sit out the second half because he wanted to be more heroic? And
Bruised ego.
Yeah, Rodgers faking limps, which I don't think is the case on either one of those.
I was being facetious. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah. My number one what to watch for is the Packers' offensive line, and they have a few gentlemen out there. Balaga has not practiced all week. He actually missed all of last week. His stand-in there, Jason Spriggs, did it pretty well. And this past Wednesday, Balaga's questionable as of right now. And then Brian Bell, they put him on IR. I believe that's the third offensive lineman for the Packers that started the season that is out. So look out for that Bears front against the Packers offensive line.
Yeah, I will be looking out for that. Man, the Bears have been blessed with injuries. Sorry, just to throw that in there.
Yeah.
We've been lucky. We just took another big hit, but
yeah.
been so lucky.
Only one guy on the injury report, and maybe Long coming back. So,
yep.
What else you got for us? What else are we watching for this game?
I'm watching for Trubisky time. How's this guy gonna rebound? Tough game versus the Rams. 3 interceptions. Was it rust? Was it health? Was it a combination of the two? Was it a combination of some good defense? We will see, but we're all watching out because we need this guy to be good Mitch and not bad Mitch. Because this is the beginning of the old run here. So,
yeah, big time. And my other what to watch for is revenge game here. This is it's palpable, and it's thirsty. All the local talk show hosts are talking about it and hyping it up. I want to. You got to watch the Bears here early. Are they going to allow the emotions to get too much? They're playing at home. They're going to be pumped up. They're going to be playing that bear raid siren. So are they going to be control their emotions? Are there going to be some false start penalties or encroachments, so on and so forth? Watch out for that Bears emotions early on in the game.
Whew. Man, I was about to play my air raid siren. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to turn it off and just ruin the whole show. So I chickened out on it. Yeah, man, it should be the Red Dead revenge game. If you like crispy memes, follow me at Shy Bears Plus. Had a crispy one come out like that. What to watch for? Jair Alexander. Stay away from him. He's a rookie. I believe he's out of Louisville. PFF has him at 70.7. He looks really good, very fast. He's a little short. Yeah. A-Rob did catch one over his head when he kind of had his back turned. A lot like the catch last week over with the back turn over his head over the helmet. So it kind of reminded me of that when I went back and watched that game from week 1. I was like, oh man, this ain't the first time A-Rod just out rebounding fools. It was sick, dude. It was sick. And speaking of injuries, we just a little bit before, last week's leading tackler is going to be playing the nickel for the Bears. Sherrick McManus. Some people like to call him McMantis. Anyway, will the Packers go after him? He hasn't been a starter all year. He's played on the field, non-special teams, and he's never really stuck. Has he learned and gelled with his defense, and Fangio has him ready to go? Is the athleticism there? I don't know. There's a lot of responsibilities out of the nickel. You don't have a sideline to rely on to play that outside coverage for you. You're on an island out there, and you have to worry about, the pitch outside, setting the edge, everything. You're responsible for everything. You're like an outside linebacker out there with a faster receiver in front of you. So those are my what to watch fors. So everybody knows that at next we do the Bears victory pluses, another segment here that people can't get enough of. Again, this is going to be a game that is so Mitchy. It's going to be so Mitchy, bro. Whatever he does is how we're going to go. But Trubisky and the turnovers. Was he healthy? Was he hurt? I'm not sure. He was definitely not accurate. I'll tell you that's what he wasn't. If Trubisky was accurate last week, we blew the Rams out. That's what would have happened. So it's up to the kid, man. He's this whole team can't turn the ball over. I think this would be a closer game than most people are showing on Twitter. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. My Bears victory plus number 1 is to win the turnover battle. I'm going back to the old standby. The Bears have won the turnover battle in all but one of their games this year. It seems to work out pretty well.
Yeah.
keep that going. You keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. You keep the time of possession in the Bears' hands. Just don't lose the turnover battle. You're going to win this game.
It's got you this far, right? Number 1 in turnover differential, 1.0.
Yes, sir.
It's what's got us here. What to watch for in a Bears victory? Plus 2 gap rushing, like we saw against Aaron Rodgers in the first game. Russell Wilson. Maybe I feel like last game they were kind of selling out a little bit more, coming off the edge, and not really worrying about their responsibilities. I don't think they were worried about Goff running, but with Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have to make sure that you are rushing as a team, as a unit, not opening up any holes for him and not letting him just sneak out the outside and extend the play. So that's my next Bears victory plus.
Yeah, my second Bears victory plus ties back into the revenge factor and the emotions. And that's if the Bears play within themselves, they're going to give themselves a better opportunity to be victorious. Keep that emotion in between the whistles. Yeah. And I think the Packers are going to play extra chippy here. It's one of those games when you're the underdog and you got to do whatever it takes to win. So don't get baited into that. We've seen Hicks a few times this year, do something after the whistle, let it go. You're better than that. You're going to be in the playoffs regardless, whatever happens the next 3 weeks. So, just play within yourselves, play hard, but, don't go cry.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It is such a great point. And Bears games are always a little bit chippy, so I hope that they can keep in control. Focus after the old whistle, and that they're going to commit 4 or 5 penalties on every single play, and that's frustrating, and they won't get called because that's how these Bears-Packers games go. Anyway, not bitter at all. Bears victory plus. Watch the screens. I'm so sick of the Packers burning us on screens. There are no free passes to the show. If they let you go, turn around because they're about to dump it over your head. They have the crispiest screams in the game, so don't fall for it.
Yep, I won't. Thanks for warning me.
You're welcome.
Hey, have you liked this video yet? If not, do so. Hey, finish a job. That's another Bears victory plus. I mean this in 2 ways. You get in the red zone, finish a job, score some touchdowns. Right? Not taking sacks when you're on the 18-yard line, you just get in the red zone, or, not punching in from the 2-yard line. Finish the job. The Bears have been pretty good about that, but, obviously they're the genius Matt Nagy, the only person to score a touchdown last week against the Rams. So, continue. Finish the job in the red zone. Finish the job against Aaron Rodgers. Sack him, break his leg. There might be a Twitter poll out there. Will his leg get broken? I think there's a possibility. I really do, actually. I don't mean to be morbid or anything, but I think the Bears are that hungry for this win, and they're going to go hard after Rodgers. Like Dave Kaplan said, they're not going to put him in on the turf. They're going to put him through the turf.
Woo! Well, he did runneth thy moutheth. So every once in a while, you got to cash those checks at those mouth right. So the Bears D and Akeem Hicks did notice that he was running his mouth about how they always come here and beat us. So anyway, Bears victory plus. Stop the deep ball. It burned us in the second half in the first week. I went back and watched some of those highlights and it got re-sick to my stomach. But I see Aaron Rodgers taking every deep shot that he can. If you see single high, he's going to load it up. But I think that Fuller and Nakamura and the rest of our secondary are so much better now, and this team is such a completely different team in a positive way from week 1 on offense and defense. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3 family. Like they're and if the Bears give it up, the defense will go take it right back for them. They're just gel all together, but you got to watch out because they're going to take those shots, and you can't let them make those shots and complete them. Do you got anything else on the Bears victory pluses, sir?
I do recommend the Bears score on defense or special teams, with how questionable Mitch has been. And I think that has more to do with coming back from injury, cold weather game. There's an art to throwing a cold football in the NFL with the Duke. That's a giant football, it's a real transition, but cold football, you score on defense, score on special teams, whatever it takes, that's what's going to take to win.
Great. Let's run through some Packer victory pluses. Packer victory plus protection. Keep Rodgers clean. and we are looking at a Bears upset. If we can't get to him, he's just going to do what he always does, and he's looking healthy and he's looking fresh. You don't get the Aaron Rodgers, and if you let him just tear us apart, he will tear us apart. He will tear anyone apart. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep, and that was my number one. You mean the Packers upset the Bears? They keep Rodgers upright. You keep that white jersey clean. It doesn't even matter really who's on the offensive line. I think with Rodgers, I think it might even be better if guys were coming at him balls to the wall. Then you could be elusive. You can get out of that pocket, and then you can draw more time for Devontae Adams to get open. If he's running a 5-second route, just running around so hard to guard that, especially if Rodgers is floating around. But keeping number 12 clean is a good way to win the game for the Packers.
Right, absolutely. And then as you alluded to, Aaron Rodgers floating around, watch out for Aaron Rodgers' fancy feet. If he gets out and scrambles, you're in some deep trouble, that's for sure. And if I were him, I would try to intentionally look for some opportunities, especially early in this game, to take off and get some first downs, because there's nothing more frustrating than almost getting any quarterback or Aaron Rodgers and rushing for a first down, knowing you did everything right, but this guy just went ahead and extended a drive on you. So watch out for Rodgers' fancy feet.
Watch out for those fancy feet, indeed. How about if the Packers lead in time of possession? That's a Packers victory plus right there for you. All the Bears kind of have a running theme when they lose. It's like they don't control the time of possession. They're not out on the field. The defense gets winded. All right, I can see if the Packers keep time of possession up. We haven't really been we've been subbing more, it seems like, but we don't really sub so much. So if the Packers get up there for time possession, 35 minutes, that's tough.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's hard to sub, too. It really is. And I was about to make an excuse for him on the subs and just say that if they come out the same personnel. But you should be able to keep
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
No, against Aaron Rodgers, it certainly is difficult. He'll get the 12th man on the huddle or, on the field, 12 men on the field from a guy running off with a quick snap or, hard count, really good. Yep. But what I saw when I went to the game last week is that LA was real quick county and quiet. And with the Bear Raid siren, they're not going to rely on that. Soldier Field's not going to rely on that because Carmen DeFalco saying, isn't it a bit corny? No, they're going to be doing that on first, second, and third down. Do it all the time. Who cares? I
don't care
at all. Loud as hell for Rodgers. So, yeah, that.
I mean, we have at Soldier Field, there's a first down. Where on the field? That's not the things I want to be known for. I'm okay with being known for the air raid siren.
Don't hate on that either. Don't hate on that either.
I ain't hating on it.
Enough of the hate.
Yeah,
you were hating on the time on the field. Moving it along.
I'm not hating on anything. Packer victory plus. Take away A-Rob. I really feel like A-Rob is the Trubisky, the security blanket, if you will. If you take him away, then we're looking at options 2, 3, and 4, and everyone says that, hey, once you get past 1, he has difficulty. I don't necessarily always agree with that, but there might be some truth to it. But I would definitely take him away. That would be one of my big focuses.
How many more do you have? Do you have any
more
victory plus? You have one more?
Yep.
All right. I have 2 more. I'll give you one, and it just kind of ties in to the last one. Is the Bears are very good on third down on defense. Can the Packers stay on the field? That ties back to the time possession. Can the Packers stay on the field on third down? That's going to be a huge contributing factor to a Packer victory plus.
Right. We have one of the best third down defenses in the league. Packer victory plus. Play like you have nothing to lose. You're already so close to being out of it. Don't leave anything back. So play like you have nothing to lose and dance like no one's watching. Wait. Sorry. Anyway, continuing on. Sorry. What was your last one?
Blitz the hell out of Mitchell Trubisky. Mike Patine. That it's been semi-proven that if Mitchell has to go through progressions, that might not be in the Bears' best interest. So blitzing often, and like you said, they have nothing to lose, so they're going to leave it all out on the field. They just, this is an emboldened team a little bit. They lost their their coach. They got a little chip on their shoulder. They have to win. They're going into hostile territory. This team's going to be fired up to play.
Sure.
I'm so pumped up for this game, man.
Oh, me too. It does worry me that, a team with their back against the wall in a must-win situation, it does give me a little bit of anxiety, to be honest with you, because you're going to be getting their best, but we'll be bringing our best as well. So it's time for the show. We're bringing our predictions. I'm going to whiteboard it up, and I'm going to tell you why. I got the Bears. How am I looking on screen? We're good?
Go back a little bit and to your right. Oh, that's good. Go back to where you were.
I got Bears 27, Packers 24 on the whiteboard. I got the screen here covered up with some stats and stuff like that, so I apologize. Thanks for lining me up. I think this is going to be a close game. It's Bears-Packers with playoff contention on the line, and you can just throw out all the records. It doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Aaron Rodgers was so crispy last week. He's going to be tough to stop. Although Chicago is the better team overall, I do see this being a very close game. It's Trubisky's time to take the reins and help turn the tide on this career series to where we start adding those wins and getting back to the level and back on top. And this is one of those times where you think that you might be catching the Packers in a downturn, right? So you need to start pedal to the metal, foot on the neck, all the analogies you got there, bring them all in there, and just do it. It's up to Trubisky, I feel like, and I think that we'll stop their defense good enough. If we could score on their offense, but the turnovers will kill us. The Packers are going to have a little bit of extra juice, second game, but I think some of that will wear off a little bit, but they are still have the back against the wall mentality, and I think the Bears will win, man. 14 weeks later, it's a different team. There's just so much, I feel the energy sometimes with these guys talking through the screen, on my mobile device, on the computer, on the interviews, in the podcast, where these guys are just talking about how they're down for each other, and they're there, I believe it when they say, family on three, and they're like, we're in this together. Mitch is saying all that matters is how we play and what we do together, and everyone watch us play like a family. Dude, sometimes I get goosebumps watching that crap. I'm like, I feel it, and these guys are not going to let another loss happen. They watch the highlights just like I did from week one, and I don't think they're going to let that happen again. What say at +_shy Jeff?
Yes, thank you. Excellent points there. Yes, Coach Nagy did, the genius himself, he did replay week one. And not only are they a different team, not only are they a different team, they're a better team.
For sure.
All right? And the maturation process, yeah, you're right about number 10, but it's almost like this team is so deep and so well-rounded and so well-coached that if Mitchell Trubisky throws for 180 yards with 1 touchdown and maybe 2 interceptions, then we win this game. I think that's a good enough stat line. We're going to get our turnovers. We're for sure going to pick off Rodgers. He's due. It's inevitable. I see a forced fumble from maybe Josh Adams or whoever the old Notre Dame product is. Give me a Bears dub. They're covering as well. Oh.
Boom. 7. No. Yeah. Great math, Robert. Anyway, I like it. I just don't see this being a huge scoring game. I like Trubisky. I'd really prefer him to do maybe 2-1 on the touchdown interceptions, but I can see your point for sure. I think this defense is going to be pretty dominant as well. But, I don't care if he throws 150 and 2 touchdowns and he's at least positive in that, and then a couple rushing yards. It's probably enough to win. I think you're dead on with that.
Yeah. Did I just name the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback?
I think you named his running back.
Who's the other 33? On Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones, yeah. Hey,
I'm a fan talking football. Sue me.
Someone is whipping up that lawsuit as we talk, as we speak.
Damn it. Should have said that.
Oh, man. Look at that. So, yeah, Aaron Jones plays for the Packers. I play for Shy Bears Plus. I'm Robert. If you haven't subscribed right now, what are you waiting for? The video is almost over. Like this video, share it to all of your Bear fan friends. Tap the bell. Follow me on Twitter at Shy Bears Plus. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on my weak Facebook. I haven't posted anything, but it will be live soon. I'll tell you that. And then you take us home, sir, like you always do.
Yes, great closing there, buddy. Hey, we won't be at the lakefront this weekend, but the NFC North champions will be. Can't wait for Bears victory plus Monday.
Club
That's
dub.
all she wrote.
Drop.